With Professor Jeff Stein, who is back in studio. No, you're not back in studio. You're in Waterloo today, Professor. You're just the traveling man. What are you doing today?
Well, you have to stay one step ahead of people chasing you, and so I'm in the office today.
Oh, you're in the office today. Fantastic. Yeah. And now at the top of the hour, we always check in with you with the Iowa Almanac about something that happened on this day with Iowa history. And we're talking about a shooting club today. What's going on?
Yeah, I understand you're going to teach us a foreign language here in the next couple of moments, right?
This ought to be really good. It worked well in rehearsal. Let's see how it goes live. You may have seen in the news where the Secretary of State had recently rolled out a new online filing system for businesses, new businesses that are starting, whether they're corporations or limited liability companies. And that's because the Secretary of State handles all of that paperwork. Well, we're going to talk about the oldest club in the state of Iowa to ever formally file that paperwork with the Secretary of State. Oh. And it happened on this date, on June 28th, 1865. That's when the Dubuque Shooting Society, that's the name of the group, was formally incorporated at the Secretary of State's office in Des Moines. Now, the group was originally founded in 1856 and stands as Iowa's oldest existing club. It was originally known as the Scheutzen-Gelsenschaft.
Can you say that?
Yes.
Can you say that on TV? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Scheutzen-Gelsenschaft. That's what I typed, and I think I pronounced it reasonably closely.
Did a good job, yeah.
Not bad. Well, I have some background in it. The group's charter members were all of German descent. That's why they had a German name.
Makes sense.
None of the original members were native-born Dubuque residents, which may not be surprising because we're talking about 1856 after all. In fact, here's a fun fact for you. Until the year 1875, if you could not speak German, you were excluded from membership. Oh. They wouldn't even let you in for the first 20 years of the organization's life.
So you walked you walked in and they went Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
You better have been Sprechen Sie Deutsch, or you would have been, whatever the reverse of that is, sent out on the street.
Okay.
They even used the German name until 1890. So for the first 25 years that it was formally incorporated, it was the Scheutzen-Gelsenschaft. And I'm going to keep saying it because apparently I'm on a roll with it. The club had a 160-yard shooting range located at 30th and Jackson Streets, and they had frequent shooting competitions there. But a change in the course of the Minnesota and Northwestern Railroad meant that the club had to find a new property. They settled on a 23-acre park fronting what you now know as Highway 52 North. And it was the site of what was once the county's poorhouse farm. Every county had one at one point. The natural amphitheater at the new location provided an ideal setting for shooting and for privacy, so it could be done safely and also not bother other people. Well, about 100 years after the railroad forced the society to move, transportation routes of a different kind almost did the same thing again. You see, in 1978, there were plans to route a 4-lane highway through a portion of the property. But the Dubuque City Council canceled the plans because it would have a negative impact on the society. Originally known as Scheutzen-Gelsenschaft, the Dubuque Shooting Society formally incorporated as Iowa's oldest existing club, and it happened on this date in 1865.
That is pretty cool. It's interesting what you can find when you dig through the journals, isn't it?
Well, and it's interesting that it still survives today, still very strong today, and the origins of being a group of people who all spoke the same language, who had all emigrated, finding this to be the outlet for a hobby and fellowship. Very interesting.
There you go. Wow. And still going, as you mentioned. All right, people want to go back in and revisit what we just talked about. There's probably an easy way to do so.
Pretty easy. Just fire up the computer and go to iowaalmanac.com. Today's story, including a photo of what it looks like today, the shooting club, is right there at iowaalmanac.com.
All right, sir. You have yourself a great afternoon, and try to stay cool, and we will speak with you in the morning.
Back in the studio in the morning. See you then.
Thank you. Thank you, buddy. All right.